And we are rolling, dude. So yeah, I appreciate tapping in. I know you're pretty gosh dang busy.
Mm. Yeah, man, of course. I'm like super stoked to be here. I was really excited to be invited.
Yeah, I mean, I know that you doing kind of behind the scenes stuff with the band online, and you're also working full time as a physician's assistant
Yeah, yeah.
somewhere in the Pittsburgh area or
Maryland.
Maryland. Okay,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me because you have all this stuff going on with the band, but also you're working full time doing something pretty draining.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
But it's
So
rewarding too, so I mean, it's totally worth it.
yeah, I get that. It's just one of those things where it's like, the last thing I would want to do when I come home is work on band stuff.
Yeah, well, funny enough, it's so I work in emergency medicine,
Oh no,
specifically. Yeah, so, like, have you seen The Pit?
I have seen The Pit. I just
It's
finished it.
bro, it's very much like The Pit. Like, it was funny watching that show because 'cause I'm just like, "Wow, I feel like I'm at work. I don't know if I'm enjoying this or not." So yeah, no, after, like, a long 12-hour, 13, 14-hour workday, I just wanna go home and decompress, but the thing is, working in emergency medicine was somewhat deliberate. I have a schedule that's flexible. I'm able to go on tour as a result of my job. So I can, do this awesome job and also tour and play music. And I think that's such a nice thing because not everybody could say the same.
Yeah, I mean that's what kind of threw me off. Is like, it's not just like this cover band that you're doing on the weekends at like taverns and bars. It's like, yeah, it's a signed act that is putting high quality stuff out. So
Yeah.
it's like it's kind of a different thing than most people would think.
It's tough, man. It's tough. Like, admittingly, like, so normally I work Friday through Sunday, willingly. I like working weekends, but Monday through Thursday is an absolute grind for the band, because I do all the content for us too.
Right.
Which, I've been getting more into VFX and like extensive editing, so it's really mad time consuming. And sometimes for some of the bigger projects, I get home from work 8:30, and I'm hustling until I go to bed at 12 at night just to get back up in the morning and go do it all over again. Like that Beyblade clip I made, like the trailer for Beyblade took 55 hours for that
Yep.
20-second clip.
I absolutely believe it too. Where it's like you're your own worst critic. Where nope, this is terrible. Like nope, got to rerun this,
Mhm.
run it, and then it's like yeah, you're in the weeds. 55 hours. Like oh okay.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you know what? Part of the big issue with like what I'm doing now with the VFX work is that it's much more than just putting your clip on your timeline and editing your clip, right? Like,
Right.
it's a whole workflow that I've been kind of like trying to finesse over the months that just ends up like the same thing that takes me a minute in DaVinci Resolve takes me at least, several hours between After Effects, Unreal Engine to like get everything to where I need it to be. For instance, like a single shot in Beyblade, I bring it in, I gotta green key it, but I do multiple green keys to make the green screen look really good. I use rotoscoping features as well. And then I export. Once I have that all finessed, I've kind of finessed my edge and I've done some noise reduction. I'm exporting that as an EXR sequence with an alpha over to Unreal Engine. And then once you get it over to Unreal Engine, it's just a whole nother ball game because like on DaVinci, right? Or like Premiere Pro, what do you use to edit?
I've been just using Riverside. They have an
River Oh,
in-app.
that's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah, but,
but I was using Audacity before, so
gotcha, gotcha. But yeah, man, like, you get into Unreal Engine and the amount of steps you gotta go through just to get a single clip on your timeline, or sequencer in Unreal Engine, it's, like, probably 20 steps, I would
yeah.
say. It would only take a single step, and to, like, learn what's works best has definitely been, trial and error, to say the least. I know that's
Oh
kind of
yeah.
like a
Oh yeah.
long response, but yeah, that's why
No,
this
I mean I
stuff
get
has
it.
taken forever, and that's like a single clip.
Yeah, I mean, and just like the process of like learning that took, you
Mhm.
know, yeah. I mean, like you said, trial and error, where it could take a month, 2 months, 3 months to kind of get a rhythm down, and then you apply it. Then
Yeah,
the work
yeah,
comes. Do the
exactly.
guys get it? Like, this just
Not
isn't ready yet.
Yeah, they do, to an extent, I explain it to them because 'cause I'm excited about it, you know,
Right.
and unfortunately, not none of my peers are really doing any of this, so for me, it's kind of like it feels very much like a kinda like in on your own sort of thing. Because when it comes to, like, video work, I have a lot of peers in my area who are really great videographers who are doing awesome things, but as far as VFX go, I don't have a big community of those, so, I'm always trying to meet new people to kinda, like,
Yeah.
lift up my skills and learn new things, and also when you're trying to troubleshoot, it's good to know other people who kinda, like, have been through that same, you
And
know
there's some crazy clips that you have out there. Like you have like a clip of you like floating off the ground. Like,
Yeah, that was actually straight up After Effects, but
okay.
yeah, that was a cool clip, man. That was a cool clip.
So I
I
was like,
enjoyed
how
it.
was he doing that? Like, how was he pulling it off? Like,
Yeah, that was actually strictly After Effects. I pretty much rotoed and keyed myself out, but I set myself in the same setting, and then I just did a lot of keyframes to make it look like I was floating over like a clean plate. So it took a little bit of effort, and I think it looked pretty okay.
yeah, it looked great. I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean,
Now,
it's one of those things where it's like you might think it looks stupid, but like everyone else who watches is like, yo, this is crazy.
let me tell you what, I watched that clip a couple weeks ago, and I was like, "You dumbass, you didn't do your beard the way you
Hmm.
should have." Like, I looked at my beard, I was like, "I don't like the shape. I should have did something better with that." So, it's like they say, you're your own greatest critic.
Yeah, it's never as bad as you think it is. It's
Yeah, for sure.
like
But
you look,
that's
yeah,
part of being an artist, I think, right?
yeah, something like that. You look like the audio or video. It's like, oh my god, like yeah, it's just I get it. I get it. But I mean, even with like working, where you do, are there certainly days where like you are just right in the weeds and people die, people really are just going through it and you're like, I really just can't come back to plug in with the band right now. Like I need a day or two to like be done.
So it's funny that you say that. When I was at prior jobs, prior to working where I work now, I would go do band stuff after work, but ever since I started working in this field, and in this environment, I really don't plan for after work anymore. I mean,
Yeah.
stuff at home, sure, and there have been occasions where I will, but generally speaking, I try to avoid it because I'm telling you, man, I'm burnt out. Like by the time my work day's over, like
Yeah.
I'm ready to do nothing because like your work day's 7 to 7, but I mean, things do happen, and people end up being massively sick. And they like the decisions you make in my position make the difference in sometimes in someone lives or dies. So
Yeah, which
that's
is
not to be dramatic. Like that's very real, right? That's
oh
a
yeah.
very real thing, and that sits on me pretty heavy. That you know someone could get hurt. So I take that very very seriously. Like
Now are you doing day shift or night shift?
I do both,
Oh
but
wow.
I'm actually
Okay.
just day shift now.
Okay. Because I know it's like a bit of a struggle to get a day shift because night shift is like kind of like, hey, you're brand new. Here you go.
Yeah, no, man. So it was like 3 or 4 night shifts a month, but now I'm just day shift because I work exclusively weekends because
Yeah.
nobody wants to work weekends. So that's the
Yeah, I
benefit.
get that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Maybe is there like any sort of like pay bump for the weekend or
Yeah, there is. There's something called
nice?
differential. You get like an extra $5 an hour, I think,
Ooh, okay.
just
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
to work on
mean,
the weekend and just to work night shift. It's like there's some differential. I don't recall what it is. Like I don't know. Money.
yeah, I mean, doing what you do, you pull in a pretty decent wage. Like, does that help you kind of reinvest into the band?
Oh yeah, 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 definitely. I'm absolutely pouring money into the band, like just recording and everything from the last year costed a lot, and then now we're in the rollout process,
Hmm.
and putting some money into marketing and um, personally for me, I'm constantly investing in my video work because I care too much, and yeah, I spend a lot of money on dumb shit, man.
Yeah, I mean, Equal Vision though, to their own credit, they do help out quite a bit with like, recording budgets and
So funny enough, we're actually not with Equal Vision anymore.
oh no, what
Yeah.
happened?
So I don't want to talk like negatively about them, but generally speaking, I just don't think the relationship was really working anymore.
Okay. So you had like what, 2 releases with them
Yeah,
up
yeah,
until this
yeah.
point?
So we had our initial release. Well, technically three, I guess. We had our
Okay.
initial release, which was Internal Discussions. We brought that to them. They took us on with Internal Discussions. We released Spiritual Ascension, which was our first full length. And then we did like a little acoustic EP
Yeah.
a little over a year ago, and 702 was part of that. So it's kind of an odd mix. Um, and yeah, no, we brought the new music to them, and I think that we kind of all came to the conclusion that we weren't really on the same page anymore, so ultimately we decided to part
Yeah,
ways.
so it was one of the things where like it was a contract thing where they had the option, they just didn't pick it up.
Exactly, and they decided not to exercise their option.
Sure, that makes sense. So what are you guys doing now? Like, is it independent or?
Yeah, completely independent. Yeah.
Okay, and how is that for you guys?
It's a little bit more work, but honestly, it's really cool, man, because I do in a lot of ways feel like the label is mostly kind of like a bank in a way where they do provide money
Yeah.
to help front some of these like heavy upfront costs, right? Like the studio, for instance, because you're going to pay a lot of money for the studio.
Hmm.
Um, and they do help in that sort of sense, but other than that, there's not like a ton of benefit. They do connect you with resources, which is really great at times, but that seems the primary benefit seems to be the more of the bank providing money up front sort of cost. But that money does get paid back over time via they get like a split share of the royalties.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah.
But here's my thing. Like, I mean, I first became aware of the band through like 702 and some of the
Yeah.
rollout with that.
Hey,
So
love it.
everything's kind of like from that point on has been you guys,
Yeah.
which is great. That's a great problem to have where I feel like the momentum has really been taking off since then, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, no, it does. And yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been super grateful that people cared,
Yeah.
and really shown up for us in, essentially our first independent release, Eons, which came out back in December, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was our very first independent release.
Okay.
Even on that song, it was very well received. People really liked it. And then obviously Release Me ended up being like an avalanche for us where
Hmm.
it kind of just exceeded all expectations of the response that we were expecting. So I mean, yeah, man, it's wonderful to be
Yeah. I
honest.
mean, were you
So,
guys like nervous at all? Like, okay, like if this just doesn't hit, like, what am I
yeah,
do?
no, absolutely. I mean, so nervous. I'm still nervous right now. Like on
Yeah.
a daily basis, I'm nervous because, when you watch your Spotify numbers and, just streaming numbers in general, they're like a whoop, right?
Hmm.
Where they're up and then they're down and then they're up and then they're down. And so if you think about, our history, we put out Internal Discussions and we got all the way up to 25,000 listeners a month, which for us was huge. We had never
Oh
been
yeah.
at that number before with any band we've ever been with. So for us, 25K, well, we were stoked. Um, but then, I watched slowly over time, despite releasing music, our numbers dwindle farther and farther down the rabbit hole. I was like, what do we do to fix this? Like, and there didn't seem to be any sort of like realistic way to like fix it, except, I don't know, maybe write better music or, finding a way to get the algorithm to kind of work for us in our favor. So, yeah, to have Release Me come out, bring us all the way up to 60 some K,
Yeah.
it was so exciting, but once again, I'm on a daily basis, kind of bringing it back to your question. On a daily basis, I'm dreading to watch it just kind of like go
Yeah.
on again. Like
And I hear that.
the anxiety is killing me, and I'm just like I'm hoping that we see some like real change in the numbers as we progress forward. Like the numbers don't mean anything or like everything, but what they do mean is they're kind of like the metrics that help get us onto bigger tour packages,
Hmm.
help get us in front of more people, and then obviously help make this a bit more sustainable. Because right now, we're very much self-funded to the core. So, every single dime that went into this record came out of our pockets.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, that
Yeah.
has to be crazy too because like it's not cheap.
Oh yeah, man. It's definitely it's not in the six figures range, but it is in the five figures range. And
Oh
that was
yeah.
completely out of pocket, no label, no nothing. That was us just caring that much about the music.
Yeah, I mean, you got to work with Sky,
Oh
and
my god,
he's a one of
time,
our one of
dude,
the most
please,
important people in our scene.
couldn't
You
agree more.
know, yeah, I mean, talk about a great decision to bring him in.
Yeah. So funny enough, he had like reached out to us back in the internal discussion days, but us being kind of like a fresher act at that time,
Mhm.
um, I don't think we exactly kind of knew what we were trying to do with that just yet, but we saw it and we were excited about it. So when we did 702, honestly, we are kind of moving that direction. If you think about it, 702 was very like funk inspired and
Mhm.
um just much more rhythmic than anything we've ever made before. So I was like, I think we need to work with Sky. So,
Yeah.
I reached out to him and I was like, yo, let's make some music, man. And Sky is probably my favorite producer I've ever worked with. And he is such an ungodly musician, like just pure musical talent. So
Oh
like
yeah.
when you're in the room with him and you're like trying to write harmonies for a part, he already knows what your third is, your fourth, your fifth. Like, I'm like, bro, oh my God, like your ear is just on a whole nother level. Like, I mean, pure musician. Me, I feel like I gotta navigate a little bit and like kind of listen around and feel around, like uh just trying to find what I like and what I don't like. Him, he already hears it. So I think that just like was such a huge game changer for us because he heard things without even like trying. And I'm just like, man, you're gifted.
Was there something you guys tried for the first time with him? They're like, okay, I'm not so sure about this, but like, let's go with it, and then it paid off in a big way. Like,
So, generally speaking, there wasn't anything specific. There were some cool. One thing we tried for the first time, I guess not from a writing standpoint, but from a recording standpoint, we actually recorded right here in my basement. The guitars, all the guitars you hear on the record,
okay,
were recorded right here. I do have an actual studio here, which helps.
hmm,
But yeah, man, we've never did that before, so it was really ballsy of us to just record our own guitars, in my opinion. Guitar,
yeah,
but yeah, drums and bass and vocals we did at my at Eric Taft's studio, Buzz Lounge, which great experience. So that was new for us. There was a song that hasn't came out yet that I was very unsure of. It's actually my favorite song off the record now.
yeah,
And when we first rewrote it, I was like, this is stupid. I don't like it that much. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but it's funny because like a month after we left LA, I'm like listening to this song. I'm like, oh my God, I need to repeat that again. And I've probably listened to it like hundreds of times since because it's just such a banger. And yeah, man, that was really nice. And that was completely like idea Sky had. Like Sky had heard the idea in his mind. He's like, whoa, you didn't like this? I was like, no, man, this is kind of like not really. I'm not feeling it. He's like, no, we need to do this one. I was like, okay, which is just kind of like I don't know. It's cool.
yeah. I mean, clearly he brought out the best in you guys because it's like these 3 tracks. I mean, they all have traction in their own way.
Yeah, bro. I'm stoked on him, man. The fact that Release Me did as much as it did was honestly a surprise. I did not expect that song to do anything at all. I
Yeah,
really didn't because it's like it's more slow, it's more mellow. Look, funny enough, I like me and Trey. We wrote that song, right?
hmm,
Like Trey came with these vocals. I'm not sure if I should say this or not, but the the vocals, you can listen to the chorus and you can kind of tell what they're about. It's about a contract and feeling like someone did not hold up their end to the contract, if you get what I'm saying,
right.
regarding a certain entity we used to be involved with. Um, and Trey brought these vocals to me, and it was funny because we actually started writing in a different way this time around compared to prior, right? In the past, I'd always brought a riff or I had brought a song that I had written to the table and Trey writes his vocals to it. The biggest difference with these songs was Trey actually came to me with vocals, like literally just vocals off the top of his head. And so there, like at my place, I would just put some keys behind it, just to kind of like get for him to sing to something. I'd record it, And then by the time he came back, I probably had rewritten that song like 5 times. It with like different like different sounds, different styles, just to kind of get like a feeling of like what direction I wanted to take it. And ultimately, what I was feeling was I wanted this to sound like 2000s like hip hop, right?
Yeah.
Like really big, like sampley sort of sound, but keep the really heavy guitars underneath it. This is our first record with like 8-string guitars, and she thick, man. She thick.
Oh
3
yeah.
C's.
It's
Yeah.
very heavy pop.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, yeah, man. It's super cool.
Yeah, when was the last tour that you guys were on? I think it's
It was
been a minute, hasn't it?
yeah, between you and me. Literally a little over a year ago now.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, you guys must be itching to get on the road again to
Yeah.
do this new stuff.
Well, we certainly have some stuff coming that
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to say, but well, when does this podcast go out?
Monday.
Monday. Oh, I shouldn't say then. But.
No, I would advise not to.
Yeah. But soon enough, you will be hearing an announcement, and there will be more shows on the road.
Yeah, so a booking agent has been working diligently on your behalf.
Yes, indeed.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's been some options that have presented themselves. So yeah.
Okay. Are we talking like kind of like a? Are you thinking like more of like a, one of 4 on a pretty big tour? Or are you thinking like is it more of a smaller shindig?
It's a smaller thing. Well, the band that we're playing with is big.
Oh, okay. Then,
but it's just not it's not like a 2-month banger by any means.
Oh, so it's more of a regional thing then.
Yeah, exactly. But
okay,
it's but it's more than just a couple shows. It's like 2 weeks ish.
That's a good run.
But honestly, it's perfect because really nice shows. You don't have to take too much PTO to go tour.
Yeah, I mean, for you guys though too, you guys get on the road, you kind of see kind of what works with the new stuff and kind of how it flows, and then because you can rehearse all you want, but then you get out there and it's like, ooh, this just isn't connecting with fans. Like
100%. It's funny because I think specifically about "Love's Not Your Thing," and that song is one of our more popular songs, especially from our old releases.
Right.
And funny enough, there's a part of the song where we always felt like we lost a crowd. And so we actually rewrote the part. When I say rewrote, we just added some kicks and we did some like group clapping, and it just makes the part a lot more exciting, and it really carries now. And it's actually one of the best parts of that song now, as a result of that. But yeah, I think that's exactly what you're talking about. Is hearing it live and seeing how people react to it, you could kind of adjust and figure out what's going to work and what's not going to work. I have no clue how these songs are going to go down live yet. I don't.
I mean, what's the one that you're like itching to play in particular?
There's a song that's coming out in May. I guess, yeah, everybody has the track list, so it doesn't really matter. I could say the name. It's called, man, I only remember the demo title. I'm a bad bandmate. 1-800-Paranoid. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, how many guitar solos are on the album? Do you have any of those or?
There's some like noodly stuff on 1-800-Paranoid, but no solos.
Was that something you were like kind of like pushing to do, or is that like just kind of?
So my personal belief, and this is just me, is that people don't really care about what I'm doing. They care about what Trey is doing and what the vocals are doing, and I kind of think of us as like characters essentially. And people are more interested in us as people, not really my wheedlies on guitar. Because
I don't know. I don't know about that, man.
I'm decent. I'm a decent guitarist, but I'm not Tim Henson by any means. And
but you don't have to be Tim Henson. Like you just give me some bends and give me some hammer-ons, and we're good to go.
Oh, bro, you there's plenty of that in this music. Plenty of that, especially 1-800-Paranoid. I don't have my guitar behind me. I have some real zany shit in that song. Like, I mean, like, I did some weird shit just because I, as a guitarist, love to do things that are just kind of odd. And yeah, I think you'll appreciate it if you like guitar at all.
Yeah, but like to be fair though, I kind of have to push back a little bit. Like, I feel like people can see different layers of the music. You have that song Eons where like the drums are really the glue to that song
Oh yeah.
with like the dance beat kind of thing. Like,
Mhm.
so maybe it's not the vocals that stand out. I mean, the vocals are great, but it's the drums. Like that's what you remember like the most.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's an ass shaker.
Yeah, for sure. Like when I first heard it, I was like, okay, I see what you guys are going for here. But I mean, I feel like it stands out the most. Like it's the most different out of the three.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
so far probably. Well, it's
yeah.
funny because the song that's coming out next, we is also kind of got a Latin flavor to it,
Okay.
and we really didn't want to like put those two next to each other because we didn't want to set ourselves up for like where people are like every song off this record is going to sound like it's got like a Latin influence to it. I was like, that would be bad because we don't want to set people up with false expectations, you know?
No, no, for sure. And it's weird to, like, you know, if you're an independent band, you kind of have more freedom to drop more singles as you go along. Like it's just you and Maddie kind of just talking it through. Like, what do you want to do?
Yeah, yeah. You know what? It's funny enough. Sky's had a lot of influence on like the release order of these songs.
Okay, I
Yeah,
like that.
because you know we had like a long discussion because some songs are kind of like what we would consider traditional, more
Mhm.
traditional to like the whole. I'm gonna say this broadly, emo genre, and when I say emo, alt rock, just that whole world, right? So
Yeah,
certain songs just seem to feel very, you know, away from the path. And some are just really unique. So Release Me, for instance, I felt like that song could have been an absolute failure.
mm.
Just because it's kind of weird, right? It's like got this sort of like almost reggaeton boy band thing in the verses where you have this guitar that's got like the upchuck sort of sound to it.
Yeah,
With these like boy band vocals over top. It's very chill, and then it goes into this chorus that's kind of weird in a sense where it's very R&B driven and um, lots of vocals, but also kind of like sounds like a old hip hop song, right? I was like, people can hear this and they could be weirded out. It's 100% true that people could hear this and they'll be like, I don't get it, or they can latch onto it, which they did, and I was really excited about that.
yeah. I mean, given that you guys have the rights to that song, I mean, maybe a remix down the road, like a year from now. Like,
Yeah, yeah. What you know, it's funny. I was just thinking about it. It's funny too because you know on TikTok you'll have people who will be like, "This isn't even rock. This is like
mm,
R&B," and I'm like, "Thanks."
it's its
Kind of,
own thing.
I was kind of going for that in a way. So I actually, my best friend, when I showed him the demo, he's like, "Bro, my mom would have listened to this in 2000." I was like, "This is perfect."
Yeah,
Hit the nail on the head, man.
I mean, maybe it was a negative thing, but who knows?
Yeah, no, he wasn't trying to be negative. Some of the people on TikTok, yeah, definitely, they were trying to talk some trash, but that's okay. I
I
feel
feel
like,
like half the comments on TikTok are all bots, anyways.
yeah, well, it's
Like,
like,
yeah,
yeah, I mean, totally a possibility, especially X. I feel like everybody on X is a bot at this point.
yeah, that's quite
Terrible.
the playground there.
Yeah, yeah, man, it's a little bit ridiculous.
It's weird because like I feel like since it got acquired, it was like, oh, you want to schedule some posts? Yeah, you can do that, but you want to do other things? Like you got to pay for that. I'm like, oh,
Oh
okay.
yeah, oh my god, dude,
So good.
the
There's some
freaking
good stuff and some bad stuff, but there's like different porn bots that pop up out of nowhere, like heavily just unregulated.
dude, the porn bots on that app are terrible. I
Yeah,
literally
or
can't go a
crypto.
single day without seeing like ass on my timeline.
Yeah, it's like, oh, don't forget about this meme coin that we have coming out too. It's like I see a lot of Donald coins coming out, or like I think I saw one was like he was like a Batman Donald like coin. It was like, okay, who's dumb enough to buy this?
Unfortunately, somebody is because they're
Uh
making
huh. Oh yeah, which is sad. It's kind of a sad commentary on our where we are right now, but
true
thankfully it's not us.
that.
I mean, to be fair, I mean, if you're a PA, it's like you have a lot of things going on for you where, you don't just like luck into that kind of stuff. You have to have a lot of habits and routines to kind of be where you're at.
Yeah, bro, it took a lot of work, man.
Oh yeah.
Tons and tons and tons of schooling. Honestly, the stuff I did during PA school was probably some of the dumbest and most ridiculous and audacious that I had ever done. Like flying, I would fly to a tour. I would play some of these dates and I would fly back just in time for an exam. But the entire time I was like out on tour when we weren't playing, I was
Mhm.
in that van locked in, like in the books, studying incessantly because I mean, I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to play music, but I also want to do medicine because the thing
Mhm.
is like music doesn't any I've been playing now since I was like 14, I'm in my early 30s. So like ever since I've started playing music, I've only lost money, but
Yeah.
doing something I love because it's not like I came into this to make money. If I did, that would be silly. Um, so yeah, I want to do both and I want to continue doing both. So, I knew what my goal was. I knew what I wanted to achieve. So for me, that was the best of both worlds. And I mean,
Yeah.
like, we had between semesters, I remember we had a week off. During that week, I went up to Massachusetts and I recorded all my guitar parts for Spiritual Ascension with Alan Day. So from 4 years. So, I mean,
Yeah.
I was very intentional with my decisions and it certainly paid off. But there was also struggles too, man. I remember one time I took all my student loan money and I put down a fat down payment on the van.
Oh no.
Yeah, but our
No.
our prior van had exploded. It was done. It was not working anymore. That's a long story that you probably don't want to hear, but it was not doing what it needed to do any longer. So we needed a down payment. We needed it quick. We had, I think this was right. Yeah, this was right after the Set It Off tour, and we had more tours coming up. So that was a absolute financial struggle. And
Yeah. And they're
yeah,
not cheap, dude. They're not cheap.
oh no, they're not, and they've gotten worse over even the last couple of years. So,
Yeah.
man, that's like I said, true dedication to making this happen. You know.
And it's weird because like I feel like okay, you put a down payment on this van, but then you're like kind of borderline resentful afterwards. Like you mean to tell me you're getting 12 miles to the gallon with a trailer?
Yeah, man. The gas mileage ain't great, that's for sure. You know what's funny though is like so because of the van problems and just like dumb BS in general, we didn't make any money our first like I don't know, pretty much every single tour until our last two tours.
Yeah.
Right. Like Jake Hill and Between You and Me tour were the first tours we actually came home with money, which is great because it did help fund our recordings for this most recent record.
Yeah. I mean, you guys brought home money. I mean, a lot of bands don't.
Yeah, I mean, so grateful for that. Like honestly, because to like fund the whole thing out of pocket would have really like I mean, I guess out of like liquid cash out of our pocket would have really sucked. So yeah, man, it was super nice.
Are you guys a pretty like fiscally conservative band on the road or
Yeah, absolutely. I think early on maybe a little less, but
Mhm.
we've definitely clamped up since then. And it's not that, we don't like we all don't mind spending money where it counts. It's just like everything's so expensive. It doesn't
Yeah.
make sense to like, get all the luxuries that we want cuz look, we'd love to have a sound guy, we'd love to have a media guy every tour, we'd love to have a bigger trailer. We would love all these things, but at the end of the day, fiscally, it doesn't make any sense. Like,
Yeah.
and you have to make it make enough sense because it already doesn't make sense. Because if you think about it, the four of us going out on the road for a month, right? Think about like if you had to pay for your salary at home, right?
Mhm.
Oh my God, it would never happen. It would never happen. But once again, it kind of goes back to my point. Like, we're not doing this to make a bunch of money. We're doing this because we absolutely love to do it, or at least I do.
Hey, I mean, on the plus side, you can get hurt while on the road and, it's not going to be as bad. You get health insurance, baby.
Hey, yeah, you're right. You're right. Well, the unfortunate part is because you've brought it up a couple times. When we're out on the road, when things happen to people, people love to come find me.
Oh no.
Oh, they do.
Has there been like a particular like, yeah, you might want to go see someone like
Yes.
quickly?
Yes. dumbass Thad. Love you, Thad. Thad's our boy. He did our first like 4 or 5 tours with us. He
Okay.
filled in for guitar for me early on when I was in school. Yeah, his dumbass. We were at a show in Richmond, and he was drunk, and he tried biting a bottle cap off.
Oh
And it missed, and it like lacerated his gums.
no.
And
No.
the tour manager Joey, he's like, Casey, we need you. I was just like, oh no. I was like, this day it finally came. I'm like, okay. And I go up there. He was just bleeding. I just applied some pressure to
Yeah.
the wound, and really didn't need to do anything for it. So it wasn't anything too severe, luckily, but still, like, things come up and people do ask me questions, and I mean, it is what it is. But honestly, I'm happy to help when it counts, you know?
But other than that, it's a lot of just like rashes and
Yeah. Well, you know what's kind of weird is I have fans sometimes reach out to me and ask me like medical questions, and I'm like,
you're gonna want the Patreon for that.
yeah, you got to be on the platinum tier for medical.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, yeah, hopefully that kind of like dwindles down. Like, I mean, I guess if you get to the point where you're doing like VIP sessions, I mean, you kind of bought your way into that.
Yeah, there's there's issues with medical liability. So like I can offer the only thing I usually will offer is just like example cases, right?
Yeah.
But I can't tell you explicitly what you should do because I'm not your provider.
Oh,
And
that's a good point.
right. And so I'm not accepting medical responsibility for whatever's going on. Like if you
Yeah.
tell me you're having chest pain, I mean, I can tell you depending on your situation I've seen someone with this has happened before, right?
Yeah.
But I can't tell you explicitly what you should do because that would make me medically liable.
Which you can't
I'm
have.
giving you medical advice, right? So I really can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, do you pay malpractice insurance?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I forgot, like the timeline is like you do undergrad, masters, and then PA school for 2 years, 1 year.
So the PA school is your master's degree. So that's
Okay.
a 2 to 3 year degree on where you go, and then you
Oh
can
my
do
God.
yeah, and then it's residency afterwards if you want to. So at my job, there is a residency available. I personally didn't choose the residency route, and it's worked fine for me.
Yeah.
But you can go to residency if you want more specialty training, and it is pretty cool. So in residency at my job, you go through the ICU, you go through like the neuro ICU, you end up doing going through anesthesiology, orthopedics. So you get a real look into the day-to-day life of these different specialties, and it can really help hone in your skills and give you more practical experience. So like
Yeah.
if you work in anesthesia, you're going to intubate all the time. In my job, I've intubated quite a few times, but not nearly as much as anesthesia, who's doing it multiple times a day, every single day.
Do you feel like going to med school will be a little bit easier after this, like given your experience, or?
It'd definitely be easier, but it would still be very hard too, because at the end of the day, like the chemistry is much more intensive in medical school, and it's super like the physiology is very intense. So it would still be very challenging. But yes, my personal experience now being, in emergency medicine for the last 2 years, yes, it would be incredibly helpful. And I think even if I went to PA school, I would probably learn a ton again. And then I would still have areas where I might even struggle, because there's just certain things that you just lose over time. And I kind of went into another reason I went into emergency medicine is I wanted a real broad spectrum of medicine as opposed to going into orthopedics and I'm just working on bones. You start to miss some of the body medicine and you're starting to lose some of that that information that you used to have.
Yeah, makes sense. Man, so you're about a month out from this record dropping.
Yeah.
That has to feel kind of crazy.
Yeah, month and a half. Yeah.
Yeah, give or take. I mean,
yeah.
So one more song before the album comes out?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So it's kind of feeling kind of real now, where this is kind of all you guys, it's independent, and then, yeah, just kind of whatever happens.
Yeah, man. I'm excited. I really hope that people like it. But regardless, we're really proud of it. We put in tons of effort. It's 100% us. And I just can only hope that people appreciate, you know, this record. Yeah, I think it's great. There's some questionable tracks in the sense of like, I'm just curious how people are going to respond.
Yeah,
I
because
just
I had
don't
to ask,
know.
like, is it like love and relationships that we're typically touching on, or is it like kind of other stuff?
Yeah, there's love and relationships. There's marijuana.
Oh no.
Yeah. Not me personally, but
Yeah.
a couple appreciators in the band.
Okay.
And yeah, they have a an ode to the leaf in there, and it's pretty great. I'm not gonna lie. We have a very special feature on that song.
Yeah, I was wondering if there was like any features on the album that maybe I missed, but
There's two more features.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen the track list, so I mean this is kind of where, you know, you missed me. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, because I was trying to find it. I was like, where
Uh,
is this stuff here?
I saw Metalcore Cowboy on X. He had shared the track list at some point.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I assumed people have it because he had shared it. I was like, well, I guess it's out there then, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I knew the release date from Instagram.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, no, there's a few more features, some really cool songs. Yeah, man, I'm really excited. I'm excited to see how people respond. Hoping this next one really rings true for people. And it really helps propel us because I mean, we have so much more music. When I tell you we wrote like shit 50, 60 songs and we didn't even like touch all my favorites. And kind of hearing the way people have really kind of pushed us into the direction of Release Me. There are different songs I think we could have chose that probably would have gone insane. Like that would have been amazing. But like I said, it's difficult to tell what like people are going to latch onto and what they're not going to latch onto.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, given that you guys are independent, you guys can kind of bounce around ideas online. It's like, hey, what do you guys think about
Hmm.
this? Like, should we go down this road? Should we go down that road? Like,
Yeah. I think I'm kind of just best gauging it off response.
yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, if you release a record full of songs that kind of are more in the vein of like Release Me, is it gonna behoove us? Is that what people are kind of looking for? Are they looking for more of that traditional sort of emo sound? Like, think about like Beyblade, right? It's very
yeah,
much like emo metalcore with like a hint of like hip hop, as opposed to Release Me. I think was very more of a mix,
right,
right? So like, I mean, and I guess that's kind of I don't know. Maybe it's just me overthinking it, but like when I wrote Beyblade, um, literally I had so Trey came with those vocals, and I didn't like them that much because they were too emo for me. And I say that with a grain of salt, bro. I love emo. I grew up on my chem. Literally, like my entire life, my first show was with Bring Me the Horizon in 2007. Like, bro, I've been in it for years. I love it. But I'm just like, as a band, you feel like you're rehashing like the same music over and over and over again, right? Like I wouldn't go and play Guns N' Roses right now. Like that's an old genre of music. Like I'm not gonna bring kids to the table playing Sweet O Child of Mine. The boomers will love it. And I kind of feel like a boomer now myself, playing emo. I'm like, am I playing like generic music? So that's always the question is like when I heard Trey's vocals, I'm like, this is too emo. But I was like, what can I do to make this a better blend of like hip hop, R&B, and the emo genre? And I was like, the vocals are already carrying a lot of it.
yeah,
So I integrated the sample. I wrote that metalcore as fuck riff, which really followed Trey's vocals. So like the when he said everybody else, like I was literally just following Trey's vocals to kind of like spice it up. Um, yeah, I don't know, man. I think this is literally me on a daily basis, especially when we're writing music. It's just overthinking these things, which is why there ends up being 5 versions of the song, and we just kind of decide which one we like the best.
which is great. I mean, better to have five than just one.
Yeah, bro, I got shit. I wish I could share a song with you right now, man. I have this demo. It's called Pancakes.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good, man.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, plus you guys can always release stuff down the road too, where it's like, okay, here's a couple more tracks off the record that we're still chewing on,
Yeah, bro. I texted Trey earlier this week. I was like, bro, let's go back up to LA, man. Let's go write some more songs with Sky.
Yeah.
And it's just like working with Sky was cool because it's a different perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And because I write a song the way I think it should sound. And then when we go to Sky, from my perspective, like he's just bringing something new to the table. And I love the way his brain thinks, and like it just his way of playing like groove rock, groove metal is just really, really good. Like he already sees what I did, and he takes it and he expands on it, and it's really like honestly, it just elevates it.
I'm wondering, like, have you guys thought about doing a cover?
Well, we have a handful of them.
Like a recorded, like live, or not like live cover, but I don't know, just put your own spin on something like
Yeah, we have them. We did Pony by Genuine.
Oh,
We
really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we did No Scrubs. We did by TLC. We did
Yeah.
This Love by Maroon 5.
How did that go over?
I think people liked it. That one was fun, man. That one was fun. I mean, it's heavy as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, heavy as fuck. I had a lot of fun with that song. Yeah, Trey and I, it was actually last summer or a little bit before last summer. We went on a streak and we did probably like 10 cover songs.
Interesting. Yeah, because I know that people really just love a good cover.
Bro, if you go, I think maybe if like we posted some now, maybe like because we have a little bit more eyes looking at us, maybe something would go over really well. Brendan actually asked me to send him some of the covers so he could post them. Because we've shifted to, I used to manage the social media. Now I'm just making the content, which
I was gonna
massively appreciate. Thank you, Brendan. Because like, I mean, to do both of those is super mentally exhausting. So, like,
I was gonna ask.
To share that burden, honestly, has been like a relief to me because I can focus on making cool stuff and he can focus on being the social butterfly that he is.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't imagine having to like be responsible for working your schedule, creating content, posting it at certain times, and then it's just too much.
He's been doing an awesome job, and honestly, that's like, because when you think about like the jobs in a band, like just the different things we have to do, while it's not like the hardest thing to like post and manage the social media, if you think about it, if you're doing that on a day-to-day basis in like responding to all the comments and responding to people and then posting, it actually is kind of a burden.
Yeah.
Right? Because it adds up. It's not like you do it once and then you're done for like 2 weeks. No, you're doing that on a daily basis, multiple times a day sometimes. Then, yeah. So having him do that's been such a nice thing, man. Truly.
Well, but you're like also going back and like responding to comments and just engaging, like.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
That takes work too.
Brendan spends a lot of time talking shit. Right? People talk shit online, and I'm kind of a bit more passive than he is. Nah, he's very direct. He's so funny. Like I'll read him responding to comments on like TikTok, and someone will be like, "This isn't metal," and then he'll say something like, "You can suck on these nuts," and I'm like, "Oh my god, Brendan, you're such a child, but also thank you."
You just made a new fan.
Thank you.
They'll definitely make it out to the next show.
Oh, they definitely will with good intentions. Maybe not.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like, I think people are like, oh, he responded in real life. Like, wow.
Yeah, no, for real. Yeah, no, it's pretty funny, man. Shit.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I feel like the record comes out in about a month. You have a tour that you'll announce soonish, within the next like month or so.
Very soon.
Yeah, perfect then. And then yeah, I think we laid down pretty much everything. And then I guess like for people who are checking out the album for the first time, like what do you really hope they take away from it?
I hope that they shake their ass.
Okay.
Just really just hoping that they shake their ass, man.
And possibly
song,
start a family if they have insurance.
yes, only start. Look, even if you're uninsured, you can come and we will still treat you and take care of you.
With documented anecdotes of what others have experienced.
Well, if they're asking me, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. But yeah, man, I mean, that with the record, what do I want people to take away from it? That's hard, man. But I
Yeah.
just really, I hope they listen to it and they hear and enjoy the time and effort and the sound we put into that. Like, we created just some music with emotion, with a lot of rhythm, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I want them to listen to it and just enjoy the rhythm and enjoy the way it makes them feel.
Remind me, so pre-orders are available through where?
So we have a link on so it's through Downright Merch /
Okay,
Overcast,
perfect.
or I think it's Overcast. Yeah, Overcast. So we have that link available in our links on like all of our social medias. So they could go there, they can order our t-shirts, which we greatly appreciate because, as previously said, we
Yeah.
are broke bitches. And it does really help us keep this going because we want to go make more music for you guys, and it will help us dearly to just have that extra financial cushion. So then we
Yeah.
can, do some more writing.
Okay, so if you have the record coming out, you have this tour, is there any other like big goals that you guys want to accomplish as a band before the year wraps up, or?
That's a funny question. Big goals. I would love, before the year is wrapped up, I guess just a personal goal for the band is to be back writing music and getting excited for new music. I think that's a big goal for me. Because I think that's kind of like the biggest thing is we just want to continue writing music.
Yeah.
Also, from a fiscal aspect, I would love to end this year on a positive financial note for the
So
band.
in the green.
In the green would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
it's by no means like, it's just that this stuff costs money, right?
So definitely tell Sky to double his rate, and then
Hey, well,
yeah,
my man, he needs to get paid,
he does need to get paid.
He
He
does
lives in
need to get
LA.
paid. Yeah, LA ain't cheap, man.
No, it's not.
As Don Broco said, come out to the LA.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, man. People can find you on Instagram, both personally and with the band, and then anywhere else you can be found that you're active with, or TikTok.
Yeah, so we primarily are active on TikTok, X. I post on the YouTube. I post personally on YouTube on the
Okay.
channel, so that's usually me. If you go on Facebook, you'll see the boomers hating us. You know, Brendan has feet pickup on OnlyFans. That's about it.
Yeah, that's where you should be going, is Facebook, and just dropping all the band revenue on ads.
Woo! Let me tell you about the boomers. Oh man, you don't need to hear my tangent there. I'll leave that alone.
Yeah, you'll have a different crowd than you anticipated.
Just today, I was reading. Someone had left a comment on one of our videos on Facebook, and he's like, "This is absolutely embarrassing." I was just like, "Okay, boomer, whatever, bro." Like, sure. People
Yeah.
get on the internet and they just say whatever the hell they want to say, and for them, there's no repercussions, so they just talk whatever shit they want to talk, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably best not to go on like a tangent. Be like, you know what? Tell me more about that. Like, I'm curious to know.
Bro, I just people have said some of the absolute rudest shit on Facebook. I gotta read you this comment from literally just earlier today. This dude kind of made me mad too, and I thought about responding, but I'm not Brendan, so I didn't respond. But yeah, no, like people get real up in our shit about literally about us calling ourselves metal, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
like yeah, they're in such a bind about that. Like, they can't agree what the music is. Yeah, this guy said this is the corniest thing I've seen in a long time, and I was just like, whatever, douchebag. Like, you say what the hell.
Yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, go. I don't know, heavy pop, metal. Go with that. I mean, heavy pop would be great. I mean, maybe just run with that.
Yeah, I mean, well, here's the thing, man. We've been like tour wise, we've played a few shows with like the home team. You know, they're good friends of
Oh
ours.
yeah,
You know, we've played with Honey Revenge on multiple tours. Nothing like extensive, like one-offs and stuff. But they're really good friends of ours too. Like all those people are like a lot of people in that kind of world, that realm. They're friends of ours. You know, so we're kind of like we're right there. So
yeah,
heavy pop, whatever you want to call it. You know, we're kind of like from our standpoint, we consider ourselves in that world.
yeah. Of course, like I mean, that makes sense to me. That's how I would
Yeah,
describe
yeah.
the band is like
We
heavy pop.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've been I want to say unfortunately, but you know, a lot of people have tried comparing us to like Johnny Craig, and I heard Johnny Craig's gotten better, but unfortunately, I don't know
Yeah,
the book right now, so I try to avoid them.
yeah. I don't know where that comparison would come from, but
I think my personal opinion is that Johnny Craig sounds like an R&B singer.
okay,
And so anytime someone's in the alternative genre and sounds like an alternative singer or an R&B singer, they just automatically say that they sound like Johnny Craig. But the mistake here is that Johnny Craig sounds like an R&B singer, not the other way around.
yeah.
Does that make
Which
sense?
yeah, and that's not a terrible. I mean, that's a pretty good compliment. I mean, he's
Yeah,
talented.
yeah. Oh no, I mean Johnny Craig's a wonderful singer.
Yeah,
My issues with him have nothing to do with his voice. His voice is incredible. It's just, you know, just some of the moral issues from back in the early days of Johnny Craig.
yeah. But you know, he's the longevity is there. I mean, he's still cranking stuff out today.
Oh yeah, he's still doing a great job writing music.
Yeah, I
It
might have
doesn't
to.
feel the nicest when someone calls you or says that you sound like Johnny Craig. You're like,
Yeah,
mm,
I mean, you're your own thing, I suppose.
yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Shout out to Maddie for setting this bad boy up here.
Oh yeah. Much
Dude,
love to Maddie. He's our boy.
that's right. Maddie's been around for forever, man.
Yeah, seriously. Man's a dinosaur.
Oh yeah. But yeah, man, I think we did it. Give me 1 second.